Renting is not throwing money away. Buying is not automatically building wealth. Every video that tells you otherwise is selling you a house, not a fact. You sign your first lease with a shrug. 12 months, month to month after that, no ceremony. Your friend Danny closes on a starter house the same week, and everyone treats it like he won something. You do not correct them. Something shifts. Not in your bank balance, but in what you notice, the mortgage statement in his mailbox, the way he flinches at every noise from the water heater. Rule of year 1. The deed does not make the decision for you. What you do with the difference does. By year 5, the lease has climbed and Danny's mortgage payment has barely moved. He mentions this often. What he does not mention is the roof, the furnace, the years he has not touched the equity because it is not cash, it is a number on a letter from the bank. You have kept renting, and you have kept investing what he sank into a down payment. Something shifts. Not in the headlines about renters wasting money, but in the account neither of you talks about at dinner. Rule of year 5, equity you cannot spend is not the same as wealth you can. Subscribe now if you want the numbers behind the next 10 years, because this is where the story most people are told stops making sense. Year 10 is where the two lives split hardest by zip code, and nobody tells you that part. A study covering 250 American cities found that in Los Angeles, the buyer's equity had grown past $1 million, and the renter who had invested the down payment and every dollar saved on maintenance and property tax was still roughly $160,000 ahead. The same pattern showed up in San Jose, San Diego, San Francisco. In Cincinnati, Cleveland, Detroit, Milwaukee, the opposite was true. The buyer won clearly because prices there had never outrun what a mortgage actually cost. Danny does not know which city he is in until he does the math, and he has never done the math. Rule of year 10. The market you bought in decides more than the decision to buy ever did. Year 20, and the furnace Danny replaced twice is paid off, sort of except for the second mortgage he took out to replace it. You have never once been surprised by a repair bill, because you have never owned a roof. Something shifts. Not in who looks more stable at the block party, but in who sleeps through a hailstorm without doing math in their head. Rule of year 20. Comfort stopped being about the address on the mail a long time ago. Year 30. Danny owns his house outright and calls it the best decision he ever made. And for him, in his city, on his numbers, he may be right. You own no house and a portfolio that has quietly outgrown his equity twice over, and you are right too, in your city, on your numbers. Neither of you is wrong. You were both betting on a spread between rent and mortgage that neither of you calculated at the start. You just happened to calculate it later, and he never did. Renting was never throwing money away. Buying was never automatically building wealth. The only real mistake, in either direction, was never doing the arithmetic at all.